Hey everyone, it's Vinny, and we are back at Aqueduct this weekend, and fingers crossed that the rain holds off. At time of recording this, there's a small chance of rain this weekend, but it's not enough for me to say that these races would be taken off the turf, or that the track would be muddy, so I handicapped this race as if it was going to be a fast track. Fingers crossed that it is. Starting on Saturday's card, we're going to go to race number 6. It is the Grade 3 Pebble Stakes for 3-year-old fillies going 1 mile. And Chad Brown has 3 horses in here, but I like the one with the least amount of racing experience, and that is the number 7 Startup Mentality. 4-1 on the morning line, but it's where Irad ends up, and Irad is just far and above the best jockey at this meet at the moment. And her debut at Monmouth was very impressive. It's her only race. She won for one lifetime, and she passed that field very easily. The number didn't come back super strong, which is why I'm guessing she's not lower on odds. But I also don't think she used a lot that day, so I'm expecting her to run big here, especially with Irad jumping aboard. Is coming off a little bit of a layoff. Hasn't run since the summer, but not really concerned about that. I don't think this field is anything super tough, so I think the number 7 Startup Mentality makes a lot of sense. If she stays around that 4-1 morning line price, definitely will be playing a win bet on her. The other horse here that I really like that I'm going to use in exactas with Startup Mentality is the number 5 Silver Skillet for Christophe Clement. 5-1 on the morning line. This horse just always shows up. Has run second in her last 2. She's always there. And I think she's the most consistent of the runners in this field. So I'm going to be using her underneath in an exacta. I'm going to check the exacta probables. If I get at least 10-1 on this exacta, I'm just going to play this a cold 7/5 exacta in race number 6 on Saturday. Moving on to race number 9 on Saturday is the Grade 2 Red Smith Stakes, and one of my personal favorite horses that's been in training the last couple of years is Soldiers Rising. He's back today. He's the number 8. He is also the morning line favorite at 3-1. Not too excited that he's the favorite because he does not like to win. But I still think he's a must-use here. He's run into some very good horses in his last couple races, and they're not here. So if he's going to win, it's now. Again, though, he doesn't always love the win, so I would not single him personally. Unless if he's bet very far down, you might have to if you like him, or you just toss him. I don't think there's value on multi-race tickets using him and a couple others if he is 7-5 or 8-5. But fingers crossed he doesn't get bet down like that. But I am going to be playing an exacta with him. And the first horse I am going to play in an exacta with Soldiers Rising is the number 1 Lost Ark for Todd Pletcher. The half-brother to Nest. 15-1 on the morning line. And I really liked this one as a long shot pick last time out in the Jockey Club Invitational. Before that race was taken off the turf. Once that race was taken off the turf, he got bet severely down after a ton of scratches, and he won easily, as he should have with that race coming off the turf. But I don't think he's going to be bad on the turf. Over the summer, he did run in the Saranac, and he lost to a monster turf horse in Carl Spackler. It would be a very heavy favorite against this field today if he was in here. So I'm willing to give Lost Ark another chance on the turf, especially at the 15-1 morning line. I can't imagine this horse gets at least bet down far enough where he's not worth playing. I would say anything around the 10-1 mark is worth playing on Lost Ark, in my opinion. The next horse that I'm going to key in an exacta is the number 9 Red Run for Mike Maker. He's just kind of old reliable here. He always shows up, doesn't always win, hits the board more often than not, especially if you're a try or super player. He's 15. He's what? I think he's 12-1 on the morning line. very good for underneath and tries and supers. He's just there. I'd be surprised if he runs a bad race, but I'd also be surprised if he actually won this race. I'm expecting another third or fourth place effort here. At the price, I'm gonna also use him in second on a couple tickets just because of his price. I'd hate for him to finish second to say Soldiers Rising and me not have the exacta with him more than likely being double digit odds. But if you need a horse to cut on an exacta, I think he's the safe one to cut off your ticket and just use on tries and supers. But again, he's just very consistent, which is why I like the number 9 Red Run. In the third horse that I am going to key in an exacta is the number 12 Masterpiece for Rick Dutrow. Dutrow off the layoff with stakes caliber horses. It's just an angle you're gonna, if you haven't already started looking at it, it's one you really should. He just did it in the Classic with White Abario. He gets stakes caliber horses, runs them once every 2.5, 3 months, and he gets their best effort out of them. We haven't seen Masterpiece since August against a much tougher field. He ran in the Arlington Million, did not run well that day, but did take some money that day. He's 8-1 on the morning line, which is more than fair. This is a little bit of a class drop for him based on the runners in here. I don't see any reason why Masterpiece couldn't win this race. He is one that I'm definitely going to be using. If he stays for some reason around that 8-1 price, I'll be playing him to win as well. I think he's a very good horse. The post sucks. Post 12 is not fantastic. But I would be shocked if we don't see one of the better races out of Masterpiece today. So those are my 2 races on Saturday, race 6 and race 9. Now, looking at Sunday's card, race number 3 on Sunday is an allowance race going 1 mile and 1/8 on the main track. And the number 4 Signator is back for Shug McGahee. Finally put the pieces together last time out against a similar field. And I just think Shug's got this one going good right now, and I'm going to ride it. I had him last time. I think he's going to run good again. I'm hoping he's at least above 3-1. It is kind of a smaller field. Hope he doesn't get bet down too much. But as long as he's above at least 3-1 or higher, I will be playing Signator to win. As for an exacta, the number 2 Coscatera, for Linda Rice, I think is going to be the morning line favorite. So I'm going to check the probables here. Coscatera has been running very good for Linda all year. If I can get at least 8-1 on this 4-2 exacta or 2-4 exacta, I'm going to play it. It would have to be at least 8-1. Otherwise, I'm just playing Signator to win in race number 3. Race number 8 on Sunday is the Artie Schiller Stakes, and the number 1 Pioneering Spirit, in my opinion, here is a horse that is a single. I'm hoping is not bet down too hard. But all this horse has been doing since he went to the turf for Linda Rice is win in spots like this. Only 2 losses are against grade 1 fields. This is not a grade 1 field. I would be shocked if we got 2-1 on Pioneering Spirit, but if we do, I think it's worth a win bet. I'm expecting this horse to be about 7-5. The horse that I would play with him in an exacta is Jerry the Nipper, the number 5 horse for Todd Pletcher. 16 for 18 lifetime in the money, hasn't finished out of the top 3 all year. Again, if this exacta cold for Pioneering Spirit over Jerry the Nipper is around 8-1, I would play that cold. Otherwise, I would just play Pioneering Spirit to win, or just single this horse on your multi-race tickets. I just think much better than everything else that's running in this field. Jerry the Nipper has potential to pull off an upset. Always a very gutsy horse, but I think Pioneering Spirit is a little bit better, which is why I would just play that cold exacta. So best of luck if you are playing Aqueduct this weekend. You can find my best bets for horse racing, NFL, and the NBA currently on the Racing Dudes best bet page. I went 4 for 4 last night with NBA and NFL plays. I also had the exacta in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile posted on the best bets page as well. That returned, I believe it was 100, like it was like 106 to 1 for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. So on a little bit of a hot streak lately. So check that out this weekend if you are playing. Best of luck, and I will see you next time.